Da maro chubole bina kabin kuan da babin bina chuwana kalau ni da mai sat sarbole le buna kabin ko sangai kena osundundo mburi da go salo chimike na gito salo mo chimaina ena bose sangai mataingo me oso vango na valingito leungo na volevo. Na keremo na wasa walang iliu au na kay tomana tale wawiti. Leaders of faith groups, ministers and priests and pastors of the Christian denominations, Mrs. Lema Garcia, leaders and captains of industries and business houses, and the chambers of commerce, Rotary clubs and Lion clubs of Suva and its districts. Presidents, vice presidents, board members, and leaders of the coalition parties of the coalition government of Fiji. The oldest, the National Federation Party, next senior in years, SODELPA, and the junior and youngest, the People's Alliance. The President of the Methodist Church in Fiji, Reverend Wunchwai, the General Secretary, Reverend Simone Turobo, your brother ministers, Reverend Ruben, and Reverend Kadime Wai. I'd like to acknowledge a special friend here this afternoon. Some of you know him, some of you know of him. We have been friends since he was involved and I was sort of supervising him in the Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme. I was rewarded when he was awarded his gold medal. I think he made the gold, or used his gold to make his own gold medal. Him at Lodia. My brother and my friend. Hemant and I go back many years. When people were turning away from me, Hemant came alongside and befriended me. And I took him to Washington to attend the presidential prayer breakfast. We came back, and the brothers in America bought him a Bible. That Bible sits in his office in Cumming Street today. He's here with his brother Harry. Harry, welcome. We have so many friends here. They have had different impacts on our lives. They've contributed to the making of the people we are. Their fingerprints are all over our lives and our persons of today. We acknowledge them and we thank them for being part of our journey. When campaign started, Dreu Roshi Mbatimala called from Singatoka, from Nandunga, asking if we could authorize her to write a song and its music for us, for the victory celebration. We were just beginning to campaign. We sent her some money, and I warned out our treasurer that we have not completed paying her. And I hope we will finish the payments and also the payment for the recording of the music we heard this afternoon. We're so blessed to be here. And as Deputy Prime Minister Manoa has said, if someone had told us that this service would be like this, very few would have believed us. We acknowledge our coalition partners and the leadership of those two parties. We thank you for your faith. We thank you for believing in what we can do collectively for Fiji. We don't have it on our own in People's Alliance. National Federation Party don't have it on their own. And SODELPA doesn't have it on their own. But the power of unity, has brought us together. And I think they made me Prime Minister because I'm the oldest in the group. I'm reminded of the story of the Exodus. When Moses started off, he was told by his father-in-law, and Moses was already 80. So his father-in-law would have been a lot older. And his father-in-law told him, hey, Moses, my boy, you're not doing that right. You got to divide the people up and have leaders. Leaders of tens, leaders of 50s, leaders of hundreds, leaders of 1,000, and so on. Otherwise, you'll tire yourself out. I think I'll tire myself out at 80 if I try to do that on my own. I'm glad that now I have so many to help me as we start on this journey. I thank my Deputy Prime Ministers and their party supporters. I thank all of you for your faith, not only in us, but your faith in the goodness of the people of Fiji. There's a lot of goodness in our people, but most of all, our faith in God. We had our covenant worship this morning, and all the three congregations at Bat Street City Mission Church, Wesley City Mission Church, came together. We didn't have enough room. I go to the 8 o'clock communion service and the 10:45 communion service. And when I went there on Christmas Day, after swearing in, my security detail asked me, sir, where do you sit? I said to them, I'm a bass in the choir. I sit with the choir. They were surprised. I don't think they've ever seen the Prime Minister in the bass seat of the bass pews of a choir. And I think not many in the world who have Prime Ministers sitting in the choir. We have one of our Deputy Prime Ministers, a bishop in his church, and I thank him for being humble enough to accept being deputy to me. Bill. We have a professor, an acknowledged academic in the Pacific, or perhaps in the world, who is humble enough to accept Deputy Prime Minister to work with me. We have my own deputy leader in the People's Alliance, Manoa, who's also established himself in the private sector, but still humble enough to come and be a deputy in the party and deputy in cabinet. So many of us have made sacrifices. So many of us have done a lot. Only a few of us sit in cabinet and in parliament. And I pray that you will not lose faith in us. I also urge my colleagues in parliament, in cabinet, and our assistant ministers, please, please, do not let our supporters down. They've stood with us through thick and thin. Let's keep them with us. And to our supporters, those of us in parliament will now run the government. We are all running the affairs of this nation. We will be doing the work. We will be fighting up front, keep the cheer groups going. You're very important for our success, our collective success. We may be on the field, you are on the benches. We are only as good as our benches. You are the leaders of our parties tomorrow. You are the leaders of our nation tomorrow. For today, you have entrusted us the duties of running the affairs of this nation. Please keep us in your prayers. When we call, come to us. Let's come together like this. I'm reminded that my party still owes some allowances to our volunteers. Very soon we'll be calling out for fundraising, and I hope to see many of you at those functions. Kami na turang kena marama. Misapo wini na sarbo lebu. Ena no muni vito koni. Wa wini na wale wana turang na kasilebu. Nilo tu esilebi tikarutuma ni tuko na mema indua na nonda abo tu remendo nondo lutuat. Wa wini na wale lebu. Rato tungo na nito Wilutaki na isong song, the People's Alliance. Winawale na nung daw siya matiyo winaka, kaya na ililin lot. Doon nakawa, tuko na may yaroy na mga kawa sa awit ng anggo. To na be careful what you do with the people you meet. Be careful about what you say about the people you meet, or you talk to, or you write to, or you write about. Do not be too unkind on them. They could be your bosses tomorrow. They could be your leaders tomorrow. Nanonda bebasaki sa oti na bending-dingi, David tabulagi kina na ibolamata sa didingo na matentu. Nakakwasoiti ni lebuti na nanda vivala. I said before the elections to the party, to the People's Alliance, let us be prepared for victory. When we get it, let us be humble in victory. Let us also be prepared in the unlikely circumstances of our losing. Let us be gracious in defeat. Now we have victory. Collectively, we have won the right to govern. Let us be humble and let us not be vengeful. As I said to my party right through the campaign, since the beginning, do what is right, have malice towards none. Kakunin da loma da tagiran na leoni bunwa. And the sanon ra liu chigo nangongo. Veli taken na loma, veli taken na albinak. Kemani na itambangane, kemani barabi chubi kemni. Anang ni di baga juga ni pembalap no nanti song. Ano total abi kemni na bosa tu no tebi tabuan alubana. Nana tuko man up. It meant be mature in your outlook. Kemni talangana itamangani. Mende halo matua. Ena nanda toso chuka eningo ni na hagma inangono ni na dolata kina na ibuo ni beli takin nanda bunwa. We now will na nomni ngu. Asa tu muri ni sanganga. Di toso chiko everyone you have defeated now becomes your responsibility. You look after them. We look after them. We have defeated them, now we look after them. That has been true in every war fought in this world. The victors look after the victims. Let us be strong enough and mature enough to do that. Let's take on that responsibility as well as running the nation. Let us be responsible in our personal relationships. Let us fear God and serve all men in Fiji. Ano ko masunin na marutaka na nabo niyang bengo. Ngayon na namin bukin na matentubo. Itebu cho en baki. Waru tebu na buli. Waru na wale na Minister ni buli na nona itutu sa lako me ba suleto na boevengo na lomandra na gas na itutubu kakine berongo ni buli. Waru na natang habi kumdo na leo ni cabinet. Nom di wanana no membele tira sa biuda ka tu. Kami na turang kena marama ni tambangone era action dancing na kami ko levera imbiu mai wakatandon donu menon rakadak. Era warra ka tingo me ba winakataki nangon sala ni be maliwai erni tauken rakaka batikera imbiu men rakaka meraw ni rakadak. Most of those young people who were performing the action dance this afternoon were, in their words, unfairly laid off work. It's our responsibility to make sure we find out the truth, and if they have the right to go back, they shall go back. That's what we owe them. They worked very hard for us. Now it's our time to give them what they sacrificed their free time for us for. Kami na turang kina marama. Uno ba turang kumbuna kina isasabu. Uno ba turang sa kumbur masanga kina isasabu. Kami na turang kina marama bebe kanya matin tutawat. Kaya nung do bebe soti na wakay kito mayono ni taga nung do songo may nung do lotu may langer nung kay jungo sa sotanga nangono binawalebo when you sacrifice that to be here. Binawalebo na nung tiga na kami kuha. Soli sa nangaunong ko berto na turang nanggasan italtala mensarong adani na bosan ni kalo. Binasa boleh